Today I'm going to show you how to make this sausage, sweet potato, and sage frittata. It's really easy to throw together and very tasty. For those of you who might find sweet potatoes a little bit higher in carbs than you'd like, you could swap it out for something like turnips or Swedes, rutabagas, that kind of thing. But really the flavor of the sweet potato or the sage is just really good, and I think they're a good carb. So now and then I don't mind having sweet potatoes, but do give it a try. So I've got my ingredients assembled here. You're going to need 8 eggs. These are large eggs. And then 1 tablespoon of milk. About a pound or 455 grams or so of a spicy sausage is suggested, but use whatever you have on hand. The original author said she used deer sausage. I've actually got some bratwurst here, but any kind of sausage. But you want to have bulk sausage if you can. So I'm actually going to strip the skins off of these and crumble it up and brown it that way. Then you need, if you have fresh sage, 2 tablespoons. What I have is dried sage on hand, so I'm going to use 2 teaspoons instead. 1 sweet potato, and they don't really specify a size, so I've just got sort of an average size one there, I guess. We're going to dice that small, and then 1 onion that we're also going to chop. Now, 2 handfuls of greens. You can use arugula or rocket if you like. You could use spinach. I've got some fresh kale here from my in-laws' garden. That's going to go really nicely. 1 cup of a white cheese that we're going to dice small. They suggest white cheddar. I'm actually going to use a Danish-style feta that I've got here. It's supposed to be nice and creamy, so that should be good. You'll need about a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, a teaspoon of kosher salt, or I've got some pink Himalayan salt here, that'll work fine, and then some black pepper. So to start, preheat your oven to 350 Fahrenheit or 180 Celsius. Now, if you've got a cast iron skillet or any oven-proof skillet, by all means use that. Mine is not safe to go in the oven, so I'm going to have to transfer it to a casserole dish once we've got it ready to go. So the first step you're going to want to do, I've got my pan heated here, is to start browning that sausage. So while that's browning, I've already chopped my onion up, and I'm going to dice the sweet potato now. I just want you to see, you want this to be in a small dice, so I usually slice it, take slices this way, not that thick or so, and then I slice it again the other way, just into a small dice. So my sausage is brown. Now we want to remove that from the pan, but we're going to still need to keep the pan on the heat for something else. So let's just take this out. Now I've taken my sausage out. I've got enough grease left in this pan just from the sausage, so I'm not going to worry about the olive oil. If you haven't, you'll need to add your tablespoon of olive oil now. And then we're going to add the onion, the sweet potato, the sage, and then, of course, your sea salt. Now you want to stir and cook this for about 10 minutes until the potatoes just start to soften. Okay, so while the potatoes and the onions are cooking, I'm going to just start cracking my eggs. Okay, so to our 8 eggs, we're going to add that tablespoon of milk, just a sprinkle of salt, not much this time, and approximately half a teaspoon of black pepper. Just mix those together well. So again, I'm just going to take my cheese and cut that into small cubes. I'll cut the slices that way, and then just come back this way into cubes. It's been about 7 or 8 minutes. They're actually just starting to get fork tender just a little bit, so that's good time now to move on to the next step. We're going to add our sausage back into the pan. Okay, and then this time we're also going to add our 2 handfuls of the greens. And again, I'm using kale. And we're just going to stir and cook that for just long enough for the greens to wilt. Alright, so if you have an oven-proof skillet, or like a cast iron pan or something like that can go in the oven, then you can do the next 2 steps right here in the same pan. I don't, so I'm going to transfer it to a casserole dish. The next step is to take that cheese that we've already diced. Now if you don't have this, you could use shredded cheese if you wanted to. But the diced cheese is nice because you get little globs of gooey cheese to bite into, which is nice. Okay, so I've got my cheese chunks added in there, and I'm just going to sort of push around a little bit. I'm not going to totally stir this, but I just want to push some of the chunks down in there a bit. Next bit is to take our egg and pour that over the top. And you can just sort of push things down to sort of settle them or push them down into the egg a bit, but you don't really need to stir it too much. So now we're just going to pop that into our prepared oven for 30 to 40 minutes. Just keep your eye on it. Well, that's been just about 30 minutes. That is very hot and bubbly, as you can see. I'm going to let that set for just a few minutes, and then we'll cut into it. Well, there you have it. Sausage, sweet potato, and sage frittata. And this is really tasty. Do give it a try.